Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. My name is Rabenschild, and you can see that I went ahead and replaced the swing arms on the big rover, and replaced. I replaced the rotors with hinges. The whole thing is a bit it comes a bit deeper and sits a bit more on the wheels because you can see that the difference there were the rotors and the hinges, don't know, it pulls everything a bit in. They work, although they move into the whole thing here. I had the idea to maybe push the arm to the outside here and just have half blocks here, so add a layer of full blocks or half blocks here, and then have a half layer of half blocks here connected to the hinge. It works this way too. I have the feeling it is a bit more stable. Can't explain why. Maybe there's not so much movement, so maybe there is less movement in the head. So the rotors have the problem that the rotor head basically moves a bit in the housing, let's say it that way, and maybe it is less with the hinges. It could be it rides a bit better, I have the feeling. But we still have to replace these ones. You can see that. Why is this thing spinning? It shouldn't spin. Propulsion is off, so it shouldn't spin. It does that because I don't know why. So these are still unchanged. I need to change these two. Then we can bring out the full truck, see what and how it works. I did another thing because I don't know, I had the time and I was in Space Engineers. I changed out the rotors in this vehicle. That is the former test vehicle. I ripped everything apart, removed everything except for the parts that are necessary, and I worked with that too. It works relatively well once you turn on the programmable block and recompile everything. Then it should work. So it even works for these things. That's pretty neat. I haven't really compared it. I went ahead and just replaced everything, but you can see that it does its job. With reduced weight now, I will replace the front axles too. The two that are missing there, or the four basically that are missing in the front, and maybe add weight again. I made the whole thing a bit narrower, so the swing arms don't go out so wide, and it works pretty well, I have to say. I also started a frame for the dropship I'm planning. Haven't done a whole lot, just added a cockpit, reactor and some blocks, just so that we can start building that thing too. I have to be a bit careful. I have a reactor in the back. I shouldn't speed that up there too crazy. It does work. That is pretty nice, so we can definitely go with the hinges there, and again it feels all a bit stabler. Not sure if that is the case. We will see once the whole once the whole truck is upgraded. So let us start with that. The swing arms shouldn't be very different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I basically just most of the time just removed the rotor head, let that drop down, marked it, and let the build and repair system do what the build and repair system does best. So let us... Here I have to work with the paint module. Come on. Just... Oh, come on. Now this can be removed. Oh, I did a bad. I did a bad. So it is on that, in that area. Good. Okay. So need to go a block behind this. That's the only major change that is happening here. That there's now blocks in the way. I hope they don't know, get smashed up while the thing. While don't know. Maybe one of the things just comes up right into these blocks. I hope that is not happening here. But if I can't change it. Good. Hinges. I need hinges. Hinges? And then we can start building up on this. I need wheels. Oh, this is loud. I will have to turn down the sound a bit. I think everything's running a bit too loud. Could that be? It's so weird how Space Engineers does that. The sound, the volume kind of changes very drastically when you start cranking on the sliders there. Okay, so are they different? No, they are not different. So the whole thing again sits a bit different because of the attachment point and the fact that it is a bit set back. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be the bottom. The wheel will sit on here. And now I need to move it up to be able to attach the wheel. I wanted to grab the wheel before the sound hit me hard. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Without weight, the hinges are not able to push the wheels up. It's a bit weird, but I don't know. It's I would have to crank up the numbers there for the torque on the hinges. Didn't play around with that too much, so I might not touch that for the moment if it works out that way. In the front it worked out that way, so I can just should be able to just to get that to work. Okay, this is the bottom part. This holds the wheel in place. Also these good wheels. I know that some of you might have seen that already a lot, but again, I have to say the hinges here seem to be really convenient. Again, it is at the moment just a gut feeling that everything works better with just the oh, okay, now I need to play with her. Or can I? Was I in the way? Nope. Good, let's crank up the let's crank up the torque. This is hinge trailer. Let us change that back. Right. Can I maybe do that from somewhere here? Do I have? Yes. Hinge back, right. So the torque. Does the high torque? No, I don't think, but I still have the rotor torque mod turned on, and I'm not sure. Okay. Does it work now? Can I attach it now? It didn't do too much. Yes. Good. So now I could let that off. I think I will try to just turn off the hinge. And now I need to set this here to propulsion can be on, steering is off. And we go for a strength of just 100. Good. I will do this with all the other swing arms too, and then we will just make a test how it rolls. Again, this is relatively easy. It's too sad that I lost the drone while trying to do it in a different way. This is with build and repair. This is just a whole lot easier. Good, let me change this out and then I will come back to you. So again, it sits all a bit lower, but again, I'm not sure. We will have to test that. I hope nothing flips now. That would be amazing if now everything would just turn upside down. I rode around with it just for a bit. It might be more obvious to take, I don't know, long trips with it, but I think we can just do without that right now. So we will recompile this so that everything is set up correctly. So it does, again, it does the same that the old version did, but I have the feeling, again, it is a bit more stable. It feels less twitchy. I had that with when I hacked off one of the, or I tried to have one of the wheels push the whole thing up, one of the rotor wheels, and the whole thing started to wobble. And I have the feeling the hinges, again, don't do this. They don't have insane wobble where it shouldn't be. Again, I'm not sure if that is a good sign, but until now nothing exploded. We're still rolling. I would like to, and the suspension still works. We can see that it still moves in and out. One thing I might want to try is to maybe not lock it. You can, with the hinges, you can go and have, like with the rotors, have a limited range of movement. I might try to limit it, but with the hinges, the good thing is the maximum movement is 90 degrees anyways, so it will never flip around or something like that. That might be a good thing here, so maybe it feels a lot more stable. It feels a lot more stable. Let us see if I can pull the whole thing around before we run into the station. So this, it works out. I'm happy with this. For the, if it does the same good thing for the small rover that I'm trying to change there, then maybe we're able to get that thing rolling again too, and maybe even have it work a bit better than what we had before there. The small rover to the left, the one with the many wheels, it just had the problem that it was just too heavy for the small wheel suspensions. And I don't know, maybe we can get the hinges to hopefully not have it so unstable, and hopefully have it where it maybe can hold a bit more weight. That's why I also made it smaller, so I can make it a bit slimmer and save up on weight that way. Good. Next order of business would be to go and take a look at what hinges and rotors can do for our thrusters. I had the thrust vector script downloaded anyways, so I didn't need to really search for it. And I kind of want to see what we can do there. I never played around with it, and it's a shame. It's a shame. So I lost the. That's maybe a bit of a problem, but I lost the the buttons down there that helped me with putting up the mast here. I will have to do that by hand until I replace that. It sits a bit deeper. Let's see what that changed for the mast. Not sure. Oh, God. It is. I don't know. The warm weather is starting up here, and my room heats up fairly quickly. Also with the computer being in here and all that stuff, so it is pretty warm. I'm enjoying the last few days of summer break, and yeah, next week I will be on a trip just for a few days, just to get away from here for a moment and just have some, don't know, quiet time, and maybe get away from the computer too. I'm the summer break was pretty heavy on the computer front at all. Good, that works out. That is anchored. I will go and anchor this one too, and then we start out with maybe some thrust vectoring, and this time not with on WSX10s or with Vermilion script, but maybe we see what Whip has done there, because again, I never tested that out. It maybe is interesting to see what that does for us. Good. Again, here you can see I just have a frame here. Nothing too special. I want to take a few measurements, and then I will go and attach the hinges and the rotors, and maybe some timers. I want to be able to change shape on a button. That's what Tom VR did in his design. His was a fairly bit bigger because he uses a cockpit, not a cockpit in the front, but a glass dome. So with a normal seat, I will use just a cockpit and maybe make it not so big. I would like it to be able to transport some large cargo containers. So 5 blocks wide, in the middle 3 blocks, so that I can have some vanilla. I think I will go with merge blocks here, because with the landing gears or connectors, I get the same problem that all the other things have when it comes to working in gravity, where it pulls things away and it kind of it pulls down grids when you have them anchored with connectors or stuff like that. It must be a glitch somewhere in the thrust when it comes to how much thrust is there. It just doesn't recognize some stuff. I could use the vector thrust 2 script. I proved. I saw that it is. I didn't prove that. I got told by Vermilion, and I wanted to test it out myself, and saw that it definitely is able to counteract that, but then I would have too many scripts going on here, and so we will go with merge blocks. Makes the whole thing a bit more stable and doesn't mess with thrust settings and all that stuff. So that will be a thing. Good. Let me do some measurement. It might not change a whole lot. And then I will put some hinges in, and we will see. What we could test is, with the hinges, you're able to really easily stack them, and maybe I test that out. So to have maybe 2 hinges here on this side for the hinged part, and then a rotor for the thrust part. We have to still be careful to not have too much weight on there, so that the rotor doesn't get deformed while putting thrust on things. We'll see how that works out. Let me do this. I hope this works out. This could go this could go bad again, and I would have to make changes. So I want to have basically 6 large cargo containers, large small grid cargo containers below this. In the middle there will be space for merge blocks and connectors. I'm not sure how to attach the merge blocks. If I want to use 1 or maybe 2, it doesn't matter for the stability of the craft or anything, but I could have a connector in the middle, then have merge block front, merge block back between the cargo containers, raised up so that nothing merges when I merge the containers to the ship. But I definitely want to have a connector somewhere there so that I want to have a landing platform or something like that. Maybe on all the stations where I can just leave these containers around, pick them up, and then get away with it. And do that with ships maybe too? Not sure. We'll have to see how that works out. Again, that's something I'm trying now for the umptiest time, because it interests me to have modular things. And Tom VR's post there kind of, yeah, that was a nice rendition of that. And I can do something like that on my own. That would be great. Okay, hinges. So he uses the hinges to angle, to have different angles on the thrusters in the end, and I might do that too. Again, I like the idea. I just like the idea. So oh no, that's the hinge part. I need that later. Hinge part will be needed later. I need a full hinge. One, and then later I will add another one here. So what we Ilk. Rotors and hinges, all the same. Can't just stay where they are. Let me do that again before I before I start to fight with the mechanics there. Good. This, and then we put blocks here. So what I saw is that the hinges can basically be put into each other. So remove this. 5. There is markings on there. So hinge, remove the outer part, wait until this is fixed up, put the blocks here, and then maybe hinge part. Is there a certain... This could explode again. I'm not sure if it works, but maybe it does. Maybe it does. Build vision. Unlock? Why am I... Ugh. Connector. Why am I getting the connector from down there? I want to get the hinge. Attach. This worked remarkably easy. So I hope that both work in the same direction. Let us test that out. Oh, I can't get closer to it. Ugh. How to do that best? I need a panel. G panel. I decided against the small merge blocks. I will use the normal ones. Hinge 1, hinge 2. They work together. That is great. See that? That's neat. That's really neat. So I can now do that with all of them if I want. And then add a small wing to there. And add a rotor on that. I will go with a small rotor. I think that should be enough. Or do I need 0? Do I need I'm not sure. Let me test that out if one rotor there is enough to move some thrusters. Again, the design right now doesn't really matter. G rotor. We'll go with a normal rotor. Give me the 0. And then I'm not sure. I hope I have enough thruster components for all of this LG and thruster. We will use the modded ones. I don't care too much for hydrogen or something like that. These, and then I want to test the script too. We can test that too. So G programmable block. We can move that later. Oh, I have enough thruster components. That's neat. So what happened there? Are the hinges not strong enough to hold up the whole thing there? That would be... Whoa! Whoa, okay, the hinges definitely need a bit more powered. So I could add more hinges. Maybe that would be a solution to that. Then they should be strong enough to basically hold everything up. But we will just... Let's stay to try in the white for now, because yeah, the thrust could be a problem in the end. I'm not sure if whoa, that is, they are definitely not strong enough. Okay, let me maybe braking torque. Maybe braking torque helps. Nope. Yeah, let me fiddle around with this a bit. This is way harder than I thought. I have trouble with the thruster staying on. So the whole script has a setup where, yeah, way over my head. So I added the script because I thought maybe that controls the thrusters then and turns them off, because the thrusters are the main culprit in making problems here, because they try to compensate for whatever and start to even break the hinges apart. Not break them apart, but they really struggle with the thrusters being on because it starts to wobble. And the rotor also has the same problem with it. So edit the script. Script has to have a cockpit as a reference, even called that way. And it has options to turn on and off dampeners, and it has options to turn on and off control over the thrusters. It didn't change a lot. It also has to do with the power situation. The thrusters are, let's say it that way, when they work, they completely overpower the reactor that I have here. So turn them off. I have to find a way, and I will. It is just a thing of timer blocks. I could add them. I could add the timer blocks, but where? I don't have a space for them right now. So timer blocks. Where to put timer blocks? I think we will use the space there in the front to add some timer blocks. I want to have a sequence of timers that turn off the rotor lock, change the reverse settings of the rotor and the hinges. Then, when that is done, after a few seconds, turn on the rotor locks again. That might help. So, want this setting at the moment. Again, this is just testing out stuff. This setting for flight, for horizontal flight, maybe. So that's the setting when I want to go back to orbit or something like that. So I'm able to push away. Timer block 1, lock off. The next one will be timer block 2, reverse. Should write that the right way, and then this one will be 3. Lock on. So I'm always trying to get better with the naming. Let me fix that from here. So these hinges are named. They work together to move the small wing and the rotor on the left side for the. So let me first set this one. So set up actions, groups, hinges, reverse, and then the rotor, reverse, and then I need this one to turn the lock back on, start this one, and this one will. I have to see how long it takes to. 10 seconds should be good for now. Set up actions for lock on, rotor lock on. Is there just a rotor lock on option? No, there's just the rotor lock on off option.
Energy low.
How to do this? We will just use the rotor lock right now. So this one is the last in the thing. This turns the rotor lock off. Set up actions. Groups. Rotor hinge lock on. And group. I need to change the other one too. And then this one triggers the reverse action. Trigger now. And then I need to go back and fix the lock on to also incorporate the group. Hinge lock on. Okay, if I now set hinge lift to be hinge locked and the rotor to be locked. If I press the to reverse lock on, lock off and trigger that now. I should do that from the outside to see what is happening here. So lock off. Trigger now. That worked out. And this one should be then locked. Good. Okay, I have the action to move this wing and to change, then hopefully change the flight direction. This will be interesting. I never played around with this. I need to put in a better reactor. I need more power, maybe two. And maybe I can set them up somewhere in the back or so, or here on the sides. That could be interesting. Have them here in the sides. I need a way to connect them later to the conveyor setup. Ugh, I need O2. The hinges are interesting. I need to figure out more stuff with it. I never tested the hinges out as a mod. I never tested them out as, I just now test them out as the vanilla blocks, and they are really interesting. You can do really interesting stuff with them. So to be able to just stack them in that way is interesting to me, because you can just have so much power on whatever. I assume that you can really put crazy amounts of weight on there. Question would be, could we add another set of hinges, maybe here or so, to have the rotors or the thrusters on there? That could be interesting too. So have a bit more action in there, where these things really lift up, move around, and then flip into place. That would be interesting to me to have something like that, to get a bit of more movement in the whole thing. I'm not sure if it's a good idea. It could invite Clang to the party very, very much. And with the locks, I should be able to. So the whole problem with, these thrusters produce a lot of thrust, and I don't know how many hinges I really need to compensate that. But with the lock, there shouldn't be any problems on that on that part. I could really, for vertical flight, I could really bring the thrusters down, then bring them up so that it really, don't know, move the whole thing. It could be interesting. I think I will do that. I will experiment with that a bit more. These hinges are promising. I have to say, this is a promising part that I could have here with the hinges. I don't know. I could bring more movement into everything, because the hinges, they look a bit nicer than rotors when it comes to having them on doors or whatsoever. Don't know, they appear a lot nicer than having to use a ton of rotors or something like that to lift up hatches or doors or whatsoever. And they appear a lot flatter. You can stack them, so you can have really heavy doors. And the problem with the rotors always was that if you, for example, wanted to attach two to lift up a higher weight or something like that, that really brought clang to the party. You could get around that, not a problem. But with the hinges, it seems, because they just pull all in the same direction, a lot of force, clang seems to be less interested. Let's say it that way. I will do more experimentation with that, and maybe bring more movement into this whole thing, so that it really brings the thrusters down for the vertical lift off, and then brings them up into a nice position to fly away. In the back, I want to have some thrusters too that rotate, but maybe just have them on a rotor or something like that. I don't know. In the back, I don't want to go too crazy with even the amount of thrusters. Maybe just one on each rotor. Just this is always, it always reminds me of the Osprey, or there was a dropship in Space Above and Beyond that also had rotating thrusters for vertical takeoffs and all that stuff. Doing more with it. We could have when we go back to Dune, we will try the whole flappy wings thing again with wings, with the hinges. I don't know, maybe makes more sense with that. There will still be forces in there that are uncontrollable, but it could look a bit nicer with flappy wings on the hinges. I'm not sure. We will see how that works out in the end. Good. What's the... Oh, I'm using up too much time here. Good, people. I think that is all for today. I will come back to you with more of this stuff and hopefully not have exploded the whole thing. Maybe try the second wing on here, so that we can maybe make a test flight or something like that. The amount of hinges, I will keep them here. That's maybe too much, but maybe it's nice to have this amount of hinges here. No, there's no gaps in here. It looks a lot nicer. Good, people. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked this episode. If you did, please leave a like on the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. See you guys.